Hi, it's Jeremiah Desmarais here, founder of Advisorist, and sitting next to me is someone who doesn't need an introduction, the original shark of Shark Tank, Kevin Harrington, the $5 billion man who's generated sales in countries worldwide. Kevin,
hey,
such an honor
Jeremiah,
to be here.
great to be here. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey.
So we wanted to record a short video for you because we are announcing a brand new venture with Advisorist and arguably one of the most iconic sales trainers in the world. Kevin, you've seen so many deals over the course of your career, and tell us right now, who have you kind of brought back to life that we're going to bring to the insurance, tax, and financial services industry?
Great question. So I'm going to go real fast back to 1975 when I started my first business. Okay, so I was a young entrepreneur. And in that year, Zig Ziglar came out with See You at the Top, his book. And it was a total mindset change for me when I read See You at the Top. So Zig at that time became very powerful for me to help me supercharge. I was in high school and a business that took off and did pretty well as a youngster. And then I fast forward, I got into the heating and air conditioning business and in college. And then 1984, when I started the infomercial business, which it was the beginning of the industry in 1984. I saw a bunch of dead airspace and put products on there on Discovery Channel, etc. But that's when Zig published the book, Secrets of Closing the Sale, with over 100 closes. So now Zig is published 31 books in 36 languages. He's touched over 250 million people over his lifetime, which ended 5 years ago, unfortunately, but he was a master of sales. And so I've teamed up in partnership with the family to bring the assets of Zig Ziglar to the masses now, because none of it was digitized, none of it was digital, as you know, you being a digital guru yourself. It was all old school media, tapes, literally like when you think of the 8-track days, you know, to listen to music in the car kind of thing. These were on cassettes and on betas and books. But now it's all going digital. It's all going to be on the internet. And I'm in partnership with the Zig Ziglar and his family and Mark Tim, another partner in the venture. And we're going to be launching all of this January, this month in 2018.
Outstanding.
Very exciting.
And you know, if we think about the insurance, tax, and financial world, I would probably argue that at least 80, if not 90% of all professionals in that space at some point in their life were touched by Zig Ziglar. I mean, I believe that the sales training that they got from Zig has revolutionized the industry. And I'm so grateful and humbled that we're going to have all of that on the Advisorist platform. That's huge.
Yeah.
You know, one of the quotes that really touched me, one of my mentors told me something that I only found out later in life. It was Zig.
Right.
And my favorite Zig quote is, you can get anything you want in life if you help other people get theirs.
Exactly.
And somebody told me that, and I never, they didn't tell me it was from Zig Ziglar, and it was only years later.
Right.
But that is such a powerful concept, because in tax, insurance, and financial services, you help people at sometimes the darkest hour of their life.
Oh, absolutely.
The loss of a spouse, the loss of property, the handling things that are complex. And I've been privileged to serve this industry for over a decade, and I've met some incredible people who I know have that mentality. They are givers. You know, tell us a little bit about, you told me something before we started shooting here about something that was found that has never been found before about Zig Ziglar. I think that would be really important.
Well, so absolutely. After he passed away, as they were going through, you know, the affairs of the estate and all of this, they actually found in a warehouse, and we call it sort of a vault because it was kind of, you know, nobody knew it existed, but all these master tapes, and they were beta tapes of the most powerful sales training program that he had used inside a few corporations that had paid a lot of money for it, right? For him to train their people. And so these tapes this is part of the new digital package that we're creating. So we're not only digitizing, we're creating holograms of Zig. So Just recently, Zig and I, Zig, the family, authorized all of this, but I was in a hologram production company where, you see him almost like right in front of you, like he's alive almost. It's just mind-blowing. So we're going to be taking him on stage with us around the world, but then these new programs that came out are also going to be made available in a master class that we're putting together. So, I mean, Zig, he went just close after close after close. In fact, one of the challenge I had in the infomercial business, the as seen on TV business, I didn't have the customer face to face. We were on TV, so we didn't know what the objections were. But Zig had a close. It involved creating massive value, the value close, right? And so we would do an offer, it wouldn't work, and we'd say, you know what, there's a problem, and we'd find out, they thought the price was too high, or we didn't have enough value. So we started doing this, but if you order now, we'll also give you, but wait, there's more, you're gonna get this and this and this and this. That was all, that came about because of Zig's value close. I mean, you can go back to many of the things that you see in the market, and now in digital marketing, by the way. So we're now tracking that his closes were timeless, and they work in digital marketing also. So, but yes, this master class is structured on what we found in the vault.
That's outstanding. So think about this, being able to tap into one of the greatest minds in sales, being able to get mentorship from one of the original sharks of Shark Tank. And one of the things I don't think we talked about, I think we just want to address is, this is not just Zig Ziglar, this is you.
Yeah.
Like, you've been in the studio, and I know you were just in the studio yesterday.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about what you're sharing, in this that's available in Advisors.
So what's really cool is, I started as a door-to-door, literally knocking on doors salesperson. I mentioned in high school, I was 15, and as I was getting turned down and the door slammed in my face and things like this, that's when I started using and creating some of my own techniques. Okay, so but then as I got, Zig has over 100. I mean, when you think about it, I mean, as a young entrepreneur, maybe I created, maybe a dozen or so at the time. But now, as we got into infomercials, we sell many, we sell housewares, hardware, fitness, golf, toys, beauty, you name it, pretty much every category. So there's every single, infomercial that we've ever done has closing techniques throughout. And in different industries, there's different closing techniques. So Zig's, I morphed some of Zig's, used his, expanded upon his, and then created some of my own. So at the end of the day, all of the training that we're providing is a combination of everything Zig did in his life. His life spanned over 40 years, over 100 closes, over 31 books, 36 languages, and my 40 years as an entrepreneur and selling $5 billion in products. So I think, between us, we learned a thing or two about selling, I think, right? So, it's all included in our master program.
And one of the things I love about you is you didn't stop at television. You went on to use the As Seen on TV brand, AsSeenOnTV.com, and you went digital.
Yes.
And just through organic search, that As Seen on TV brand took off on the internet.
Oh, absolutely.
And people know me and they know Advisors for a lot of the digital marketing stuff. I mean,
Right.
They come here to learn how to generate leads, how to generate appointments and tax, insurance, and financial services. Why do you think it's so important that you have the two? That there's the mastery of the sales process and the closes, but there's also the systems and the automation and the strategy to get in front of people. Why are you excited about bringing this together? Because you got so much experience in this.
I mean, look, a salespeople, salespeople in general, they can be the greatest closers, but if they're only talking to one person a week, they're not making a lot of money, right? So, the lead gen is the first part of it that exposes them to many folks. Now, if you teach them to close, if they can go from a 10% to a 20% close, maybe to a 30% close, and the other thing is that could be life changing for their income, especially if they're getting, instead of 1 lead a week, 5 a day or 10 a day, right? let's close 30% of 10 a day versus 50% of 1 or 2 a week. So lead generation is vital. And this was one of the beautiful things in the TV world. We were able to go on various cable stations and TV stations to generate leads to make the sales. But we would use the closing techniques then to hone in on the percentages. So there's a couple things that we created. Number one, we would create, we had some shows that would test at a 38% close rate. Then when we got into analyzing where the issues were, we created, using the closing techniques, we were able to take it from 38% close to 62% close.
Wow.
Right? And then we also focused on lifetime value of the customer. And this was one of Zig Ziglar's biggest points also. He had another close that he called the buy-sell close. And what he did there was he put himself on both sides of the table. He was the salesman selling, that's the sell, but he was also the buyer. He wanted to be the buyer and the seller, the buy-sell close. So when he took the buyer's side of the table and approached things from the standpoint that it had to be just as good for the buyer as the seller, the win-win situation, that's where it started creating some massive success. So when you think about tax and you think about financial investments and financial planners, you need a win-win situation. This is not a one-call close where you're trying to just get all the money you can on the front end out of somebody. You have to create that buy-sell relationship where you understand what it's like to be the buyer, because you want to be treated fairly and you want to have a lifetime relationship. So that's why people that buy insurance or they're buying financial products or tax products or whatever, you want them coming back year after year after year, because if you have, everybody in sales has some kind of acquisition cost. So now, acquisition costs are, they're going to be here. If the lifetime value is this much, then it all works. But if you have an acquisition cost that's that much, but that's the lifetime value because you're just getting the one-time sale, it doesn't work. So you have to be thinking like a Zig Ziglar. The whole concept you said, you get everything you want in life if you help enough other people get what they want. And that's ultimately what tax and financial planning and insurance is all about.
That's right.
Right?
And that's why we're so excited to be bringing you and Zig, Zig back to life, and you obviously being in real life here,
Hey,
into the industry. So, thanks so much for checking out this short video. The vision here is with the platform of Advisorist and to have Kevin Harrington involved with Zig Ziglar on one platform where imagine being able to pull up your phone, your tablet, your computer, sit down, and just be able to tap into that wisdom anywhere you are. Before you go on a sales call, open it up, go through the 100 closes, find the one, and just once a day, just check in with that. Kevin, we are so grateful to be part of this program, and we're so excited what we're going to do in the industry.
Jeremiah,
together.
fantastic. Great to be here. Thank you very much.
Thank you.